We are so excited about 2018 and the launch of our new 2-year Mimesis Academy class. And you know, we've had the benefit of the last couple of years on this journey with previous students to see their journey of transformation. And really, transformation is something that happens within, both an intellectual transformation that affects every area of your life. And we just wanted to explain a little bit about what is expected for the 2-year course and why the journey has taken us in this direction.
And why we are now doing it as a 2-year program instead of a 1-year program. As Marianne said, so many of our students have described the experience as an experience of transformation. And to give you an example, our first course, which was for the first 2 months of the program, Desire and Mimesis, examining the unconscious movements of desire and the formation of self. For many, that journey was such a radical, new, not just discovery, but a losing of an old sense of self and a reformation, a recreation of what it means to be human. That after the 2 months,
it wasn't enough.
It just wasn't enough. The conversation just grew and grew and grew in momentum, that the conversation was actually much more content than the material we presented. We also, during that time and during these 2 years, had the benefit of, everyone was extraordinary on the course, but we had the benefit of specialists. For instance, the theologian Tony Bartlett joined us this year.
Also, we had a psychologist on board, Michael Regier.
Yes. And what we discovered in conversation with all of our students is that there were areas that needed to be clarified, there were areas that needed to be expanded, and there were areas that were really most beneficial, that we could see this struck a chord with all our students, and we needed to actually unpack that a little bit more. And so as we redid the first course, it expanded into twice the length and the content of what we had before. And that has happened with every course as we reviewed it. And so we're going to have 2 separate years. You can't do year 2 without having done year 1. 2018 is the launch of year 1. So let me give you just a more general introduction into what is the material that we're presenting and why is it so transformational. We use 2 main sources for the curriculum. The first source being the scriptures, the second source being the thoughts of René Girard. Now, you might know a bit about René Girard, you might know nothing about him, or you might think you know something about him. Let me give you just a quick introduction into the influence that he has had upon the academic community worldwide. He has probably more than any other intellectual in the 21st century brought together a conversation between all the social sciences, whether it's sociology or anthropology, psychology, theology. There is no single person whose ideas has stirred up conversation between these different areas as much as the ideas of René Girard. And over the 40 plus years in which his ideas has been scrutinized and subjected to very rigorous criticism, it has demonstrated its power of explanation more than any other ideas in those areas. For instance, anthropology. Anthropology looks at the origins of what it means to be human, at the origins of human culture. Obviously, the scriptures are very interested in what makes you human and how our societies and our cultures function. So there's a huge overlap there. There's a whole new school that's began within psychology based around the ideas of desire being mimetic. Jean-Michel Augelian is one of the people that has taken René Girard's thoughts and expanded it much in that area. There are many, many theologians who have written volumes of books based on the ideas of René Girard. Now, I've been, delving into these things for years now and haven't scratched the surface. But what I can do, and what we hope we've done within this course, is distill the really significant parts that are relevant to your life and to my life today, and present it in a way that you can take hold of it and make it part of your experience. So that's a little bit about, the general sources of the course.
I think the one important source which adds to this is the conversation.
Absolutely.
Because that's really where all these ideas and thoughts are thrashed out in a safe environment.
Yes.
Because that is so important. People who are on the same page, in a discussion, challenging one another, bringing new perspectives to a conversation that is so rich that will go on for all eternity.
Yeah.
And that's such an important part of this
Absolutely.
course is that conversation. We want to draw information out of you, and we want to draw the beauty of what you are experiencing and draw it into conversation with others and network in that way. Actually,
we have a whole page full of testimonies. Do yourself a favor and just go and read some of those testimonies on Mimesis.academy. You'll see a little link saying testimonies. Just beautiful journeys of transformation.
Another aspect we mustn't forget is that we're launching a brand new platform for the course as well.
So this is a cutting-edge platform used by the leading universities in the world, whether it's Harvard, Yale, all of them uses this software, which just is absolutely geared to making the learning experience a pleasant one and an intuitive one. So what does this mean to existing students and students who have done the course before? And what does it mean to new students? For existing students, we've had many inquiries about people wanting to do it again simply because they enjoy the community, but secondly because they want to rework the material. Well, what you will find is that at least 50% of the material will be new, probably closer to 80%, because as we start redoing the material, we adjust it for the context. As a result of that, we want to offer you, if you've done the course before, a 50% discount on the fees, and that is whatever fees you've paid before. So we have many people in full-time ministry who qualified for a scholarship. So whether it's a scholarship or the normal fees, there's a 50% discount if you decide to do the course again. For new students, what it means is you benefit from the experience and the conversation that we've had over the past 2 years. The areas that needed to be clarified has been clarified. The areas that needed greater focus, greater attention and greater time, that has been expanded. So we are so excited to welcome you on a year of exploration, a year of conversation, and to just think of where it will take you is beautifully exciting to us.